Hey guys, so we've just spent 7 days, 8 days? 7 days in the Maldives at a resort called the Taj Exotica and Spa, Hotel and Spa, and which is actually one of the closest ones to Malé, the main island, and we've had a pretty good time, yeah?
It's a wonderful time.
Wonderful time. But we did learn some tips and tricks along the way, both before we got here from friends and family who had come before us, and some trips we learned the hard way. So we thought we'd share them with you guys in case they might come in handy for you if you're coming to visit. So the first thing is pay attention to the vibe of the hotel you're selecting. So this maybe seems obvious, but it's one that at least I missed, which is that each of the hotels have a slightly different vibe. So there's some that are more party hotels and some that are more like honeymooner, chill out hotels. We ended up at the Taj, and that's really a quiet family and honeymoon style, which was perfect for us, but at least I feel like we didn't pick that intentionally. It was just a happy accident. But some of the hotels are more of a party vibe. Oh yeah, one that we didn't have on here is make sure your hotel's not on a flight path, because our hotel is on a flight path for the main airport, which is kind of funny. But it wasn't terrible, but it was a thing. That's a bonus tip that was not planned. So I'm looking over here at the other tips here. Beach bungalow versus the water bungalow. So, you know, all the shots you see in the Maldives, like the famous shot of these bungalows out on the water, and you might even see the landing spot there where people come in on the jetty. And it's like, that's the dream, right? Is to live on a water bungalow and in a water villa, yeah. And so those are fun. They look good, but they're not actually, I think, as nice as the ones that are on the sand, on the beach, because you get a beach. The ones that are out on the water, oftentimes there's like coral and rocks there.
Very high tide.
And very high tide. Actually, on low tide, there's like a huge dip down to get down there. So it's like a metal, at least at the Taj, is a metal kind of pool ladder that you have to get down there. And it's a bit scary. And then if it's high tide, there's like the tide is like coming in and out and buffeting you, and you can't reach the ground. And it's actually not as practical as it would seem. So I think if we were to do it again, we would get a beach bungalow, and you get a perfect little beach spot, and the waves are lapping up at the bungalow, and it's very, very nice. So I would do that. Another tip that you want to keep in mind is make sure you get a package which is all inclusive, because the food here is really quite expensive, which kind of makes sense, right? Because they're going to bus it in and ship it in and plane it in from all over the world, and it's not really convenient to bring food here, but it's costly. It pays 20, 30, 40, 50 US dollars for pretty small portions of meals. So make sure breakfast and dinner at least are included. It also forces you to get up in the morning and not feel like you're just going to sleep all day. And it forces you to stay up at night, because the humidity can make you quite sleepy. And it forces you to stay up to go to dinner and eat the food, even though if you're half asleep while you're chewing.
Also, all the activities, water sports, water activities, cruises, they charge a lot too.
Yeah.
So make sure that you include all of them while you're in your
package.
In your package, yeah.
Yeah, and like you're not going to get a package that has everything, but just try to get something that has
as much as you can.
And I think especially food, because food is essential and you're going to need it, obviously. All right, next item is stay overnight at Malé. At least when we were looking, it was really hard to fly in and land early and then get the transfer straight to the island. So what we decided to do was fly in the night before and stay overnight at Malé.
Because we landed at 11 o'clock in the night.
11 at night,
and
yeah.
Some of the resorts, our resort is just 15 minutes speedboat, but some of the resorts are 45 minutes seaplane.
Yeah,
just
quite
to get
far.
to them. So make sure that you arrive one night early and spend that money on a night somewhere that you can rest.
Yeah, because you're spending, you could be paying up to $1,000, $2,000 a night for a Maldives stay.
Yeah.
So spend the extra couple of $100 and stay overnight at Malé the night before. And we stayed at the Salmon Grand, which I expected to be kind of, honestly, a little bit of a dive, crash pad, a little bit, not as nice. But actually it was just recently built, very, very nice, and the staff are super attentive. they don't even let you stand at the reception desk. They let you sit. They make you sit down, and they bring all of the check-in stuff to you. So it was really very nice. So stay maybe at the Salmon Grand, which is just around the corner from around the kind of the bay from the airport. They worked out all the transfers for us. Really great.
Yeah, and don't judge Salmon Grand
From the outside. From the outside.
and the environment at the location.
Yeah. You'll drive something down the alleyway, and you're like, am I gonna get killed? And
My kidney's gonna be stolen.
yeah, but it's a nice place once you get inside. And then similarly, in terms of flight logistics, leave as late as you can. So we got a flight at 11 p.m. the last night of our package. So, and at least at the Taj, they're letting us use the facilities and the hotel room right up until the end. And so it's not like 11 a.m. checkout or whatever. So we're swimming and enjoying the facilities until the last minute.
But that's also because there are no bookings, and the next day. Also, it could be case-to-case basis how they treat you. But I'm pretty sure that if you give them your luggage at the reception, they'll keep it for you, and you can spend the entire day.
Yeah, so try to take advantage of your last day of your package as long as you can instead of leaving early. Bring US notes. So everything here is done in USD basically, and so bring small US notes, cash. I don't think we haven't seen an ATM around here. Maybe one of the stores would have given us or there's only one little.
No, I think you can get the cash from reception because I got
Oh, okay, well there you go. Well, when we flew in for the boat people and stuff that drive you in or fly you in, boat you in, we brought little notes. So $1, $5, $10, and a few dollars here and there, a $10 note here and there can really go a long way. We had the team really help us out and be very, very generous with us as we were generous with them. And it might not seem like a lot of money for us, but it goes a long way for them, and they really deserve it. They go the extra mile. And so bring that. Be careful of the weather. We didn't. It's tough because usually you're booking these things out. You can hear the plane again, maybe. You're usually booking these things weeks, months, years in advance, so it's tough to really take advantage of this tip. But it can rain here, and it can rain a lot. And so at least we've come in.
peak monsoon season.
Have we really?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. That was clever.
That's April. So
April.
We're end of April.
End of April.
Mid to end of April.
So for end of April, it was the whole week was basically intermittent thunderstorms, which is actually kind of romantic. We enjoyed it. You loved. Maybe we'll cut in some Aliya dancing in the rain part here. She loved. We're optimistic people. We made a lot of fun of it, but the quintessential Maldives experience is bright sunshine and clear water, and so that's.
But in one way, the one day that we did get the sun was way too
harsh.
It was very, very harsh. So if you do come here, make sure you do get your sunscreen, which should be SPF 50 or above. Coming off Australia, we know how the sun can be harsh and it can burn you. So bring your SPF 50s with you, or as high as you can get. If you do get the sunny season, and if you do get an overcast, you still can get burnt, but it's like we enjoyed it. It's still a little bit overcast, and it's still very, very humid and hot.
Oh, it's humid as heck. And actually, I just got out of the ocean, and I just went back. Then I went back into the ocean, and the water is so warm. It's like a lukewarm bath. And I say that in a good way. It was so nice. It's really, really nice. All right, next tip. Speaking of the ocean, I just figured this out on our last day. Try floating in the ocean. Like, go on your back and just float. It's, if you know flotation tanks or sensory deprivation tanks, there's so much salt in the water and the waves are quite mild. It's like another plane of existence. It's a beautiful zen-like state. You just trust the water, lean back, and I floated there for 10-15 minutes, and I'm a very fidgety person. I need to play with my devices, so the fact that I could even do that for 10-15 minutes was a minor miracle for me. I'm going to go back in there after we finish this video. The other thing to keep in mind is the sand. So we're very spoiled. In Australia, growing up, the sand is very fine. It's like a powder. It's incredible. It is the best beach I've ever seen in the world. I would say the beaches here are amazing because the facilities are right up against the beach and it's very sparsely populated and the water is crystal clear and warm, but the sand itself is not as nice as Queensland beaches in Australia. So
very prickly, very grainy.
Yeah, but it's not weeds and rocks, which that is
No, but
I've
it
seen
hurts.
worse.
When you walk, it hurts. Like if you don't wear shoes while walking on the beach, it hurts
It
your
can.
feet.
Yeah, and this is like super first world problems, right? Like it's gorgeous, it's beautiful. It is not the best beaches in the world in terms of the sand. Again, we are being incredibly snooty right now. We know that. I just, if you are looking for the best sand in the world, this isn't it. But I think one of the best water experiences and facilities. Yeah.
Clarity of water. There's a swing in the water.
Yeah, they know what they know the Instagram moments that you want to get.
There's a hammock right in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. We have to download some movies
Or TV shows.
and TV shows on your
bring
iPad.
a game with you.
Yeah, it can get a little
Monotonous.
island fever, you know.
Yeah.
7 days, maybe 8 with our Malay stay. Malay. I don't know what I'm doing. It's a quiet little island retreat, and so if you're used to the hustle and bustle of the city, part of the reason to come here is to relax, but bring your favorite TV show, binge watch Game of Thrones. We're Star Trek fiends, so we watch a lot of Voyager. But yeah, bring something to entertain yourself as you're winding down, or as you're maybe having a nap in the middle of the day. So that's another tip as well. And I think this is our last tip. Bring a USB charging hub. So this is my new travel hack in general, not just the Maldives. But if you bring, there are now these Belkin and Anchor and a few other brands have these USB hubs, which are, you just plug them into power and you can plug in cables into all the slots. You can charge all your devices. We had multiple iPhones, iPads, laptops, the whole bit, and we just had a little rat's nest of cables and it was all charged off one plug in the wall. So I think that's a general travel hack. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourselves. Hopefully this video came out well. I think this is our first time trying to do a stand and talk or a sit and talk, so I don't know if the mic picked it up. The wind was in the way, so bear with us as we figure this out. And we do these infrequently. We're Chris and Aliya. We just got married. This is our honeymoon. All our friends are telling us to get off the Facebooks and the internets, but
Not me.
we're loving this. So we miss you all. We'll be back soon and have an amazing honeymoon or trip or vacation in the Maldives.
Relaxation and family.
Comment down below because other YouTubers seem to say that. Like and subscribe. I don't know. Who gives a shit? Don't do that. But no, do tell us in the comments if this was helpful because that's a nice little motivation to keep making these kind of videos. All right, guys. See you later.